Role-playing games are the genre where character customization is most prevalent. This is due to the fact that part of the enjoyment of role-playing is creating a unique character. Before being thrust into an adventure, players get to choose their gender, race, height, and a ton of other details. So, in this video, I will share with you the 23 RPGs that has this insane customization features. So if you're ready, let's jump right in. First on the list is GreedFall. Spiders was renowned for making RPGs that were both incredibly heartfelt and incredibly janky, with the latter detracting somewhat from the fun factor of their creations. Therefore, it was completely unexpected that GreedFall would become such a big sensation. By completing this gap and providing gamers with an excellent Western role-playing game, it capitalized on the dissatisfaction that many people felt with Mass Effect Andromeda. GreedFall excels in a lot of areas, and one of its greatest accomplishments is the superb character customization. Because they can customize Desardet in a variety of ways, players can become immersed in the game long before it even launches. SouthPark, the Stick of Truth. One area in which SouthPark, the Stick of Truth succeeded was making sure that gamers could immerse themselves in the SouthPark universe with minimal to no limitations. This was further aided by the artwork, which does a fantastic job of emulating SouthPark's aesthetic. Playing with the character customization was enjoyable, and the new kid seemed like a fitting addition to the game. This, along with a crazy plot that closely resembled SouthPark's, made the Stick of Truth one of the greatest role-playing games for viewers of the show looking to try out a lighthearted turn-based adventure. Nioh 2. Souls-likes became popular in the mainstream thanks to the original Nioh game. Even while the game itself was good in and of itself, managing the abundant amounts of stuff and the mediocre level system made it quite difficult. The majority of these issues were resolved in Nioh 2, when players may design their own character as opposed to interacting with a pre-made one. The difficulty curves were changed to reflect the fact that combat was more enjoyable than ever. Despite this, some may still find the level design to be a little too unimaginative. Baldurs Gate 3 has grown to be one of the largest phenomena in the gaming business, disproving the assumptions of major AAA developers and demonstrating the value of creating games with a great deal of heart. Being one of the largest developers today, Larian Studios is deserving of all the success they are now experiencing. The character building mechanism in Baldur's Gate 3 is as intricate and captivating as the rest of the game. Selecting the right build is also crucial because a mistake here could have disastrous effects on the gamer. Elden Ring. The extent and strength of Elden Ring's character customization is quite astounding. The player will almost always be wearing armor, so the game doesn't even need this kind of mechanism. Despite this, the majority of users still value the efforts made by From Software to enable players to customize their characters in the game. Elden Ring can be a difficult task, thus any enjoyment the player can obtain from the character construction process should be savored before they are repeatedly pummeled to death by the early game bosses. One of the best RPG games ever created. Thus, it should come as no surprise that the game's emphasis on character development contributes to its great reputation. Players in Original Sin 2 have complete control over every aspect of their characters, including appearance, personality, and classes. Naturally, gamers have the option to completely disregard this structure and take control of an origin character. Hogwarts Legacy. Though its title may not be particularly innovative, Hogwarts Legacy lived up to the long-term hype around it. It's exciting to enroll at Hogwarts and solve a fascinating riddle that will last a lifetime. One of the many reasons players adore this game is the character creation feature, which lets them design their own fifth-year student from the ground up. Players can build a persona that looks as close to them as possible or create enormous abominations in this entertaining creation. Cyberpunk 2077 has endured a great deal following a disastrous debut, preserving its reputation more than 2 years after the game's release. Although the character creator in the game is far too detailed for its own good, creating a unique V in the game is a lot of fun. Naturally, most players won't be upset if the game doesn't include the third-person camera for cutscenes that it has long promised. Playing through the exciting story of treachery and mystery as V attempts to preserve his own life, while also coping with Johnny Silverhand's engram in his head, makes the game an absolute joy to play. 3D Game Heroes. Though it may appear to be a Zelda game with fully rendered chunky pixels, it's not quite that simple. Players can choose to play as one of several fully rendered hero characters with their respective class styles in this game from the creators of the Soul series, or they can use the builder to create their own. In other words, all they need to do is dream it. Blocky character designers and animators will love creating their animated characters, whether they are LEGO or Minecraft fans. Although it takes practice, this ability is very rewarding. Warframe is among the most enjoyable and fulfilling action games out there right now. This ARPG offers an amazing level of customization, even though getting new warframes and weapons may require some major grinding. It all depends on your preferred playstyle, which would be more advantageous, being a crafty archer, a deadly blade-wielding sci-fi ninja, or a skillful combo of classes. The graphics and options are more than sufficient to keep even the most discriminating players occupied for a considerable amount of time, and the combat is both flexible and satisfying. Furthermore, the options for bespoke paint jobs are not even mentioned. Diablo 3. While there isn't a lot of physical customization available in the Diablo series, Diablo 3 is the best game in the series when it comes to playstyles, weapons, and cosmetics. In addition to a wide variety of armor, weapons, upgrades, charms, enchantments, colors, shapes, and sizes, as well as troves upon troves of loot, the game offers the player a choice of 7 distinct characters. Among the games with the most treasures available is this one. A little grinding and cunning planning will earn a player the monster-slaying machine of their dreams if they're not happy with their construction. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning is definitely the most adaptable in terms of playstyle and classes. Players are able to fast switch between classes, weaponry, and playstyles because of a gimmick involving the lead character's changing fate. Players are allowed to customize not just the physical attributes of their characters, but also nearly every aspect of their personalities. A player may begin as a straightforward sword-wielding warrior, but since they control every aspect of the game, they can quickly advance from fighter to battle mage with the appropriate set of abilities and weaponry. Because perks, armor, and weapons are not restricted by class, a player's playstyle can be as flexible as they like. Dragon's Dogma. If there's one area where Dragon's Dogma was ahead of its time, it was character customization. Sure, it relies on a number of conventional high fantasy cliches, such the warrior, rogue, and wizard classes. Players could customize both their main character and their pawn companion in this game. When it comes to personalizing Dragon's Dogma, the options are endless. Actually, it wouldn't be until the later Souls games that this level of attention to physical detail would become apparent. That being said, the game's capabilities are still very amazing. Fallout 4 features a character maker that fans have used to create cartoon characters, celebrities, and other figures. It has been the focal point of well-known YouTube programs like Monster Factory, in which viewers compete to create the ugliest character imaginable. Players can add wounds like burns, scars, and more that they would receive in a nuclear wasteland in addition to selecting the character's standard features like hair, eyes, race, and stature. They also included minor nuances, such skin imperfections, since everyone knows that in the post-apocalyptic world, nobody has flawless skin. In addition, players get to choose how they and their life partner want to look, which has an impact on the appearance of their child. Final Fantasy XIV. Many MMORPGs include character creation, because a character in these games will be walking in a place where many other real people will be able to view them. Character development feels much more engaged. There are several fascinating races in Final Fantasy XIV, each with a distinct subrace. For anyone hoping to create a unique character in the vein of Final Fantasy, it's a dream come true. Players can alter their physical look at any time by using makeovers as they progress through the game. Monster Hunter World. Like Fallout 4 has been a location where enthusiasts may express their creativity and create cartoon characters and looks-alikes of celebrities. Men can wear makeup and have pigtails if they so choose, allowing players to defy gender stereotypes. The ability for users to create their palico, a feline sidekick, is what distinguishes Monster Hunter World from the other games in this list. Many players have successfully fashioned their palicos to resemble their real animals. That is really lovely. Bloodborne. The enormous popularity of Dark Souls and its follow-up was not brought about by the character creator. The designers of the characters in Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 were hated by players. Fans were therefore pleasantly surprised by the advancements made to character creation when Bloodborne was released. Despite having a ton of possibilities, some gamers have complained that the character creation might be challenging to utilize. Typically, it takes an hour or so for gamers to get the ideal character. Next is Aion. Aion boasts an extremely advanced character building system. It's an MMO, just like Final Fantasy XIV. 2010 saw the release of this Korean film in North America and Europe. If players encounter other characters in an MMO who resemble their own character a lot, that is a big clue as to how well the characters were created. It's possible that the character creation is lacking in quality and alternatives if gamers discover doppelgangers. There are so many options for characters in Aion that it is almost unlikely to discover a character who looks similar. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Similar to Bloodborne, the story of character customization in Skyrim was a significant improvement over that of its predecessor. Fans of the Elder Scrolls now chuckle and make fun of Oblivion's character developer because, in comparison to Skyrim's characters, everyone in the game looks like potatoes. Players can customize various aspects of the fantasy races, including gender, scales, makeup, face paint, facial shape, and fur color. All of these races and their sub-races are present. Although many fans think it's nice, they add their own modifications to make it even better. You may achieve any appearance with the mods. White Knight Chronicles is remembered in the annals of gaming history as a charming game with dreadful writing and cliché-filled characters. All must concede, nevertheless, that the game was visually appealing. The fact that players initially created a character whose primary function was for multiplayer content was a highly peculiar feature of the game. Nevertheless, in the game's single-player mode, they also served as the main character's closest companions. Thus, they played the entire game as a quiet companion, following the main plot. Quite distinctive. A large portion of the reason why many disliked the game was the excellent character creation. Despite not being the primary characters, they developed strong attachments to the characters they created. Dragon Age Inquisition. When it comes to character customization in their games, Dragon Age has only advanced. The Qunari were added to the list of fantasy races during the Inquisition. Players will have diverse options for tattoos, hairstyles, and facial paint depending on the race they select. Because the lore is infused into the character development process, that is the magic of Dragon Age. For instance, Valislan is exclusive to elves. Dwarf women can also grow beards. Black Desert Online. Another fantasy massively multiplayer online game is called Black Desert, and it's well known for how customizable character creation is. The amount of options players have for everything from hair and eye color to the color of each individual hair strand and inch of skin has led Kotaku to refer to the character creation section of the game as an epic undertaking. Green lips, pink beard, and a blue nose can easily convert someone into a monstrous creature or a stunning figure. And there you have it, the 22 role-playing games with insane customization capabilities. Which one of these games are your favorite? Let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe to get the best and latest in gaming, and leave a like to support our channel. Once again, I thank you so much for watching until the end.